This is Second Peter's 1:10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, ye shall never fail. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and the like-minded brothers. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Amwan back at you with another lesson. And just going into the title, all right, which I was meditating at the gym, and I just got back and I figured, the spirit jumped on me to make this quick lesson before I take myself down. All right. So, we have to remember that, we have to always stay diligent in this word, man, to make our calling and election sure. Okay. Just like it said, for if ye do these things, ye shall never fail, man. You'll never fail in this truth, because that's what the Lord appreciates. That's what the Lord wants you to do. All right. He wants you to constantly give diligence, all right, in his work. All right. Always abounding in the word of the Lord. Okay. Shalom, sister Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Barakatah. As a matter of fact, let's grab that. 1 Corinthians 15:58. And it says, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord Yahushai, for as much as ye know that your house is not in vain in the Lord Yahushai. You see, so our labor is not in vain, man. All right, everything that we're doing is us putting money in our spiritual bank account. All right, showing that we care about this ministry, showing that we care about Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You see, that we're representing Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in the time to come, you see. And by us doing the work, all right, it shows that, we're putting on as the elect, okay, although we are prisoners of hope, and we hope that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has, kasad upon us, all right. By doing these things, you're showing that you're putting on as the elect, and that's what the elect would do, okay, always, abounding in the work of the Lord, okay. And nothing's going to be able to separate us from the love of Hamashiach, as the scriptures say, you see. So we're constantly, thinking and setting our affections on the things above, all right, because why? We want to get the hell up out of here, all right. So we give diligence to show the Lord that we are, presenting our bodies as a living sacrifice, on these highways and hedges, all right, showing, our epistles, all right, day and night. Okay, on the internet, it shows that we are the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because look at these other false camps. They ain't doing shit. All right, they ain't putting in the work. Okay, here it is. The cold is out, and now you ain't gonna see niggas coming out. All right, you only gonna see the true men of the Lord out there freezing. All right, for the name and standing up stiffly for the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, so this is something that we have to constantly do. All right, as a matter of fact. Let's grab this. This is scripture say, preach the word in season and out of season, man. All right. And that shows a lot when we do that. Okay. This is 2 Timothy 4:2. And it says, preach the word, be instant, in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned on to fables. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. You see, so it goes to show that when you're preaching in season and out of season, right, and you're doing the reproof, the rebuke, the exhortation on a daily basis, all right, it shows that we are involved with sound doctrine, that we're steadfast and unmovable, okay, as opposed to these people that have, that are false prophets, coming from these different camps, all right, because they don't do the work on a daily basis. See, their minds are easily susceptible to falling into false doctrine, you see, because much idleness brings wickedness. Okay, let's grab that real quick. This is give me 1 second. Much idleness causes sin. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus 33 and 27. It says, send him to labor. You see, send him to labor that he be not idle, for idleness teaches much evil. You see, so what happens is when they continue to not do the work of the Lord, man, they're susceptible to evil. All right, their mind grows. You know, basically, Satan comes in and is looking to see seeking whom he may devour. All right, who is the weak links? You see, because you're giving up, you're giving too much idleness. See, when you're constantly doing the work of the Lord, man, things just bounce off of you, man. The evil ain't even got time to mess with you. You see, so you're constantly on the go, okay, ready to do the work of the Lord, man. So it doesn't even give Satan enough time, spiritual kind of Satan, to come mess with you. All right, so let's grab this. This is give me 1 second. This is hold on. This is Galatians, all right, 6 and 9. It says, let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. You see, so you know we cannot be weary in this word, man. All right, the Lord said, you know, this truth shall not depart from thy mouth day or night. Okay, you got to meditate in it every single day, man. All right, it's a repetition. Okay, that's what made me, you know, led me to this epistle. All right, when I was in the gym, I was doing my repetitions, and I kept saying everything is muscle memory, yo. And I got to continue to keep pushing, keep pushing. You see, even when you're tired, you know, even when you ain't feeling it, all right, you got to pray that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah take that spirit off of you, and you continue to keep pushing. All right, because we're at the end of this thing, man. So this is the most crucial time for you to keep pushing the hardest. All right, you have to turn to the Lord with all your heart. Okay, as a matter of fact, let's grab this. This is Ecclesiasticus 43. All right, Ecclesiasticus 43 and 30. It says, when ye glorify the Lord Yahweh Shai, exalt him as much as you can, for even yet will he far exceed. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough. You see, who has seen him that he might tell us, and who can magnify him as he is? There are yet hid greater things than these be, for we have seen but a few of his works. For the Lord Yahweh Shah has made all things, and to the godly has he given wisdom. All right. And because we have this wisdom, all right, we have to let our light shine. You see, we can never let that light get put out. All right. Especially that the Lord is searching Jerusalem's Salakia for with candlesticks right now, man. You see? And he's trying to see who is settled on their leaves, meaning who's being slothful, who's being lazy, who's out there preaching false doctrine. All right, and what happens is he snatches your candlestick. You see, once your candlestick is knocked out, all right, that means your candle's blown out. All right, and the Lord ain't gonna relight it. You see, so you have to constantly keep that oil burning. All right, let's grab this. This is John 5 and 33. It says, ye sent unto John, and he bear witness unto the truth. But I receive not testimony from man, but these things I say, that ye might be saved. He was a burning and a shining light, and ye were willing for a season to rejoice in his light. You see? So we have to rejoice in the light that we have, man. Keeping that candle burning at all times. You see? Whether it be cold as hell outside, all right, whether it be snowing, whether there's a damn a snowstorm, you know, whether there's below zero and everybody's nose is about to fall off and fingers is about to fall off, you have to continue to push, all right, and let that light be known. You see? And at the end of the day, the scripture says that this word is a fire. So when you on fire, if the scriptures are a fire, right, then that means you're gonna stay on fire. You see? So you're not gonna be worrying about what time it is, all right, what season we're in. You could be in the middle of a damn lightning storm, man. All right. If the Lord got you out there through the Spirit, you're gonna have to, do what you're supposed to do. All right. And you have to be grateful for that, because you can't neglect the gift that was given onto us, man. Let's grab that. This is Ephesians 4 and where's that at? I believe it's the 4th chapter. Might be a different one. Hold on. Neglect not the gift. All right, because for you to preach is a gift from Yahweh. Oh, it's 1 Timothy 4, Salakia. 1 Timothy 4 and 14. It says, neglect not the gift that is given, that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy. You see? So it's prophecy that you're out there on the highways and hedges constantly preaching the word of the Lord, man. That's why the Lord said in Jeremiah, all right, Jeremiah 1 and 5, all right, what did he say? He said, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou came forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. You see? So it's our duty, all right, to go out there and use the gift that was given to you. We can't neglect that, man. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on the hands of the presbytery, man. Meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. You see? So you're constantly going to be shining your light in front of these people, man. All right, letting them know, all right, that you are a man of the Lord. All right. And as a matter of fact, let's grab this. This is 1 John 3 and 1. It says, behold, what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of Yahweh. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of Yahweh, and it does not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. And every man that has this hope in him purifieth himself, even as he is pure. You see? So by doing the work of the Lord, all right, in season and out of season, all right, our light is shining. And even though our light is shining, okay, in this place of darkness, these people not taking heed to it, but it's okay. Why? Because when the time comes that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, all right, especially Yahweh Shai comes and appears, all right, he's going to exalt us in due time. You see, we're not doing it to exalt ourselves on this side, okay? We're doing it because it's commanded, okay? Because we have a gift that we're able to preach onto the house of Israel, man. So by doing so, all right, when the time comes, the Lord will exalt you, okay? And then these people gonna know that there was a prophet among them, as the scriptures say. You see, when all these things come to pass, all right, then the Lord is going to allow us to have glory, all right? But the glory goes to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai first, you see, because we're nobodies, man. We're just vessels, okay? But in due time, the Lord would exalt you once he has once he gets his glory first, you see? So let's go back to 1 Timothy 4 and 14 again. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which is given to thee by prophecy, with the laying on the hands of Salakia, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. Meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. You see? So it's important that we continue, man, because the Lord said, if you love, what did he tell Peter? If you love me, feed my sheep. You see? So he said that 3 times to him, man. And he said that to him 3 times because 3 represents understanding. So we understand what the mission is, you see? So we have to continue to feed the sheep, okay? That's what our job and our duty is. That's what presenting your bodies, all right, as a living sacrifice is, man, all right? Let's grab that real quick. Romans 12:1. And it says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, you see? When you present your body as a living sacrifice, the Lord has mercy upon you, okay? That ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service, okay? Meaning what? This is truly the way to worship him. This is how you know that we are the true worshipers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You see? Let's go real quick to John 4 and all right. 4:23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. You see? So we're worshiping Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in sincerity and in truth by doing the works. Okay? By, acting accordingly on the camera and off the camera. Okay? That's what shows your reasonable service, all right? Especially you as a man, all right? If you're a man and you know this word, you're not supposed to hide your talent and you're not supposed to hide your candle in a bushel, man. You're not supposed to hide your talents, okay, in a napkin. You're supposed to be out there putting in work, okay? So when the Lord comes back, he finds you doing the work, you see? And he says that you're a good and faithful servant, you see? Let's grab that real quick. Matthew 24, and this is 45. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord has made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord Yahweh Shai, all right, Salakia, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. And if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants and eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord Yahweh Shai, all right, of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You see how important that is? You want the Lord to call you a faithful and wise servant, man. Okay? Because if not, you're going to be called an evil and slothful servant. Okay? And the Lord coming back to ask for his money. You see? So by us doing the work, we're spiritually putting that money in our bank account. Okay? And the Lord wants to see you doubling up. You see? You come and the Lord, if the Lord come, all right, and you ain't got no money in that bank account, well, that's your ass. You see? You're going to be like those 5 virgins that were foolish. Okay? Let's grab that real quick. Next chapter, right? Next chapter over. This is Matthew 25. It says, then 25:1, then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins who took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise and 5 of them were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. All right. Why? Because they didn't continue to keep putting oil in that lamp. You see, they didn't keep that candle burning. Okay. The more you keep that candle burning, right, that drip comes down with it, man. All right. But every time you keep putting more oil to it, all right, it stays lit. So when you stop doing the work of the Lord, all right, there's no oil being put in there. You see, there's nothing to light your candle and keep it, lit. So it says, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps while the bridegroom tarried, and they all slumbered and slept. All right, and that's spiritual, man. Because see, these niggas out here that are false prophets ain't got nothing to do with going out on these highways and hedges, but just sitting their asses at home and stirring up a whole bunch of confusion. You see, you might as well be one of these niggas in the church with Christianity. You see, because they are not making up. As a matter of fact, let me grab that. Where's that? I believe it's Ezekiel 14. All right. This is give me 1 second. Nah, it's not that one. Ezekiel 10, possibly 13. Yeah, it's 13. This is Ezekiel 13, and let's take it from. Let's just take it from the top. It says, false prophets condemned. It says, and the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy, and say unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts. Hear ye the word of the Lord Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, woe unto the foolish prophets. You see, those are those foolish virgins that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord Yahweh. You see? And that means that they don't go to them highways and hedges. You see? You don't see them out there, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice. You see? Doing what we do, okay? Risking our lives every single day. At one point, they might have been doing it, all right? But when they were doing it deceitfully, speaking guile out of their mouth. See, the true prophet's not going to speak guile, all right? They're going to be waxing stronger and stronger, all right? And they're going to preach the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, rightly dividing the word of truth. You see? That's why the Lord basically took them off them highways. You see? It says, they have seen vanity and lying divination, saying that the Lord saith, and the Lord Yahweh has not sent them, and they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word. Okay? And this goes to them false, Christianity churches also. Catholicism pastors, you see? Scriptures say, woe to the pastors that scatter the sheep of my pasture, you see? So it goes to them too. But right now, what's big and heavy, all right, is these false prophets that claim to be Israel, man. All right. Christianity and Catholicism and all these churches, that shit is played out already. That shit's gone. You see? If you still believe in that bullshit, all right, you're just completely bugged out. Okay. But the biggest thing right now is these camps that are preaching false doctrine. All right. And yeah, you might see a couple of them out there, IUIC, a couple of them out there on the highways and hedges, but they look fucking ridiculous, retarded. You see, with their big microphones on, and there's thousands of them standing out there. Okay, but they're preaching false doctrine. You see, they're not preparing you for the battle. Okay, scriptures tell you not to follow the multitude. Let me grab that real quick. One is better than 1,000. All right. This is, come on. This is in the Apocrypha. So Salaki, give me 1 second. Yep, 16. Ecclesiasticus 16:1. Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children, neither delight in the ungodly sons. Though they multiply, yeah, since though they have a big organization, okay, and there's thousands of them, okay, rejoice not in them, except the fear of the Lord be with them. See, the fear of the Lord is not with them, man. Because if they did fear the Lord, all right, they will give their diligence, all right, and they'd be watching what comes out of their mouth. You see? Because it's not what goes into a man, right, that defiles him, it's what comes out of his mouth. You see? So you could have a thought come into you, all right, but saying what you say is crucial, all right, because you spewing madness and dogma, all right, is going to be your ass for that, you see? So the Lord don't want you to spew out madness and confusion, all right? You have to speak true doctrine, sound doctrine, all right? And it comes with you presenting your body as a living sacrifice and doing the work of the Lord, man, meditating there in day and night, all right? So you can be able to have the wisdom of the Lord, okay? It says, trust not thou in their life, neither respect their multitude, for one that is just is better than 1,000, and better it is to die without children than to have them that are ungodly. You see? So you can't trust these people, man. Anybody that you see in multitudes like that, all right, you can't trust them. All right, the Lord is dealing with the forlorn, man. Okay. Matter of fact, I'll grab that real quick and I'll get ready to close it out. All right, this is Judith 9 and 13. This is Judith 9. Is it 13 and 9 or 9 and 13? Yeah, it's 13 and 9. Salakia. No, hold on, Salakia. 11. That's what it is, right? 9 and 11. That's what it is. Salakia. Judith 9 and 11. For thy power standeth not in multitude, nor thy might in strong men. For thou art a power of the afflicted, a helper of the oppressed, an upholder of the weak, a protector of the forlorn, a savior of them that are without hope. All right. So the Lord not standing with these great multitudes, man. The Lord dealing with a few. Okay. Remember, he has set who he has to be in his truth. Okay. He has reserved 7,000 men that shall not bow their knee down to the to Baal. All right. The Lord said, I have called many, but few are chosen. So he's not dealing with a great multitude, man. You see? So let's go back to finishing this up. All right. Like I said, these niggas ain't ready to go out there in the cold and really preach the word. And here it is, that this is a great winter storm coming in, all right, where it's about to get real cold out there, and you about to find out who the true man of the Lord is going out there in them highways and hedges, all right, through the cold. All right, so let's go back to Salakia, Matthew 25, finish that up. All right, and 5, it says, 4, but the wise took oil in their lamps while the bridegroom tarried. They all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. And go ye rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. You see? Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. You see? So we have to stay, all right, constantly doing the work of the Lord, so he can find you doing the work of the Lord, man. So he can find you doing the work, as he said, occupy till I come. You see? And by you doing that, you are going to be considered a true and faithful servant unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? So, you know, in season and out of season, all right, we have to give our due diligence to make our election and calling sure. All right? And that's pretty much the point. Let me just make sure. All right? Yeah, that's pretty much the point. So, hey, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. So, with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith. Enduring as good soldiers of Yahushua, and you sisters continue to learn the silence, look, watching the true man of the Lord, and stay strong. We almost up out of here. Bible Ball. Shalom, sister Yahushua, Yahushua, Barakatah, Miyah.